Today, as we visit some of our old vintage stamps, we're going to visit Ecuador. Look at these, aren't they nice? Okay, that first one we have is a 1903 to 1929. So that's pretty much when they started doing the double printing, because you have your red and white on the outside and the portrait is black and white. So that's kind of the beginning of that. Okay, and then when we get down into the second row, you will see that they are both the same person, different values, different colors, and a different size. Okay, and if you notice on it, it says 1894. So those are really nice. I like that one. Okay, so this whole group here is from the late 1800s. Very nice. Now we get to our second group here. There we go. And in our second group we got some nice ones. Look at that big 10. Whew. Now that's from 1903 to 1929. You can see there's some overprint on that first 10. Casa. You have the overprint that's in black and white, and then you have another overprint in the red. Kind of says like 2000 with an S at the end. That one's really interesting. Probably want to put your computer on full screen and really take a good look at that one. You have your black overprint, and then you have your red overprint. So there's double overprints on that one. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, and then when we get into the second row, this one in the green and white, that's from 1881 to 1898. And then we have the other one that's kind of a red and white. It was a 50. And then in 1954, as you can see that cancellation on there. Well, maybe it's not a cancellation. In 1954, they turned that into a 10. So I don't know if they've held on to it all that time and then changed it then. Kind of looks like it was. Like, these are a bunch of leftover stamps. Let's use them, you know, so nothing goes to waste. Because in the old days, they never waste anything. If you didn't use it one way, you're going to change it and use it anyhow. One way or the other, it was getting used. All right. So now let's go to our third group we have today. Here we are. Now that first one kind of goes with the other one. That was a 1 and a 5 from the first group, because he happens to be the 2. He should have been in that group, huh? Okay, 1881 to 1898. And then the other 2 on there did not have a date. They were considered just regular stamps. You know, like no big deal to it. They did not give me a date. So we have our 2 in our brown. That was 1881 to 1898. And then we have a 2 in green and a 5 in brown. Now in our second row, we have a 5 in the blue and white. And we have a 5 working in the fields. turning the ground over in the red and white. And then we have a 10. Now that 10 is actually from 1934 to 1945. The rest of them really didn't have dates on it. Was a little disappointing. I didn't find dates. They were just considered regular postage stamps. Alright, now let's get to the last group we have for today. Okay, that bottom one's a real biggie. Trying to get it all in here. There we go. And we'll go like this for the first two. Okay, first you have that blue and white one. That's a $1, I believe. Look at that. Very different. It's almost like looking at your reflection in the mirror kind of portrait. Isn't it? Look at it. Okay, and then we have a 170 on the other side. Now that 170 has some dates in there. 1855 to 1955. And it says 1910 underneath him. So probably the portrait was one of 1910. But it celebrated 100 years. I don't know how many of those stamps are still around. I don't know. Okay, and then let's take a look at this bottom one here. Now that one is from 1934 to 1945. Very famous one. Even though on the thing it says 1937 to 1939. Okay, a bunch of dates on this here. But when you look it up, it does say it's a 1934 to 1945. Alright. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and by all means, share the video with other stamp collectors. Alrighty? Bye-bye now.